This episode covers a lot of ground, including China's decision to relax its ban on Bitcoin, which is one of the topics we will discuss. We will be conducting an analysis of the current status of the Bitcoin cycle in light of the statements made by Donald Trump regarding cryptocurrencies and its ability to reduce the enormous amount of debt that the United States is up to. The call came from an analyst. We are going to see the pinnacle of the parabolic blow-off in the fourth quarter, which is less than 8 days away. We will be able to observe the pinnacle of the parabolic blow-off. Following that, we will talk about what to anticipate in the event that history repeats itself. We will go right in without further ado. As of right now, Ethereum is up 1.06% over the past 24 hours, up 2.53% versus the USD, and USDC is rushing in at its dollar pegs as XRP major lanes. This brings the total value of Ethereum to $63,554 at the moment. This will result in a break at 58 cents, it wants to be 59 cents, and it wants to assault the 60cc zone once more, which is the critical area of resistance that we have been fighting for a few months now. Folks, this brings us to 66 cents worth of money. At the moment, the total market capitalization of all cryptocurrencies is between $2 trillion and $240 billion. The Pride tier is the most recent addition to today's tiers. An audacious statement concerning Bitcoin was just made by Donald Trump. I will not go into greater detail about it. I will convey what he stated, despite the fact that I am concerned about the possible legal ramifications that could result from mentioning Trump. I am of the opinion that cryptocurrency is going to have a prosperous future. It is possible that we may be able to pay off the debt that is over $35 trillion. The significance of this cannot be overstated. Would you be able to picture yourself utilizing cryptocurrencies to make payments? Get rid of the United States debt. Holy people, what a major statement that Trump made about the elections that are going to take place in November, which are around 2 months away. The outcome of the election will have a big impact on the future of Bitcoin in the United States, regardless of the outcome thereof. In the following months, the bull run will continue to concentrate on the questions and problems that remain unresolved and that we need to find solutions for. In the event that Trump is elected president, how much higher will these markets go? The value of cryptocurrencies is expected to increase by $7 to $10 trillion if he is unsuccessful in his bid. We might only have $3 or $5 trillion worth of Bitcoin by the time this bull run is over. Which industries are we looking for applicants to fill? In order to achieve your goal of seeing the value of cryptocurrencies increase to 10 trillion, 15 trillion, or even 20 trillion, this is the prescription for success. The procedure in question is uncomplicated. Upon entering the market, Trump immediately begins enacting measures. It is even possible that we may witness a transition from the stock market to the XRP industry. This office, which focuses on cryptocurrency, is taking the initiative to construct the various policies and regulations that are required in the United States. The regulations are upheld by him. You will see a tremendous change away from the stock market and institutions and toward cryptocurrency and big break-ins, as he places as you will witness this shift. It is China's intention to remove the limitation. When we take into account the global financial scene and the $58 trillion that the United States has, Bitcoin becomes relevant. With a little more than $6 trillion, China comes in second place, which indicates that institutions invest $58 trillion directly in the markets on a daily basis every single day. It is for this reason that the United States of America needs to take the initiative and bring institutional capital to the cryptocurrency markets. On the other hand, if China were to open the floodgates, the sum might potentially climb by a few $trillion and Japan and India might follow suit. On the other hand, my hypothesis is that Japan and India are most likely waiting for the United States to make an announcement regarding its policy before taking action and starting to send money to China by themselves. What a stone beast. They are going to make a decision regarding whether or not to permit trading of Bitcoin as well as trading of all other cryptocurrencies. If you want to succeed, you need to pay attention to the moon. How are things going so far? The fourth quarter of the year has traditionally been the most profitable for Bitcoin, according to Carl Moonboy, who makes this statement himself. This time around, we anticipate Bitcoin to perform in a manner that is comparable. The quarterly returns that we display include things like Q4 479%. Indeed, during the third quarter, which is about to come to a close, we normally observe a 40% increase. However, it is during the fourth quarter that we observe the large surge that occurred in 2020, which was 168% in 2017. There were 2,515% of those that were accounted for by the prior bull run years. In 2013, when we initially started using cryptocurrencies, there were 479 per that was available. Things to think about. There is a good reason why we call this month October. How should we anticipate the month of October? XRP has been pumping in the month of October in the past. Additionally, during the time leading up to the major event, we are often treated to a delightful little pump. At this point, it is very evident that the pump is, simply proceeding forward and pushing. In the temperature range of 60 degrees Celsius, it is possible that it has not yet occurred. However, we will find out in 2 weeks, right? An assertion made by Titan, a cryptocurrency, is that the pinnacle of the Bitcoin cycle will occur at the end of the year 2024. considering that the cryptocurrency normally reaches its peak 3 to 4 quarters after it has disrupted the structure of the market. Given the continuation of this trend, the cycle may reach its apex in 3 months, either at the end of 2024 or in the first quarter of 2025. The market for cryptocurrencies is going to be quite important over the next 6 to 12 months, as we have mentioned before. Despite the fact that this could be a moment that changes your life forever, now is not the time to quit up or give in. Every single boat will climb in an effort to reach green. The ascent of some will be more rapid and forceful than others. The reason for this is that there are people who are expanding on top of the networks and the services that they provide. Nevertheless, everything will increase as soon as Bitcoin determines that it will go entirely parabolic. Things are exactly the same. In terms of our objectives for Bitcoin, I continue to believe that the price will be somewhere in the neighborhood of $100,000 by the time the year comes to a close. A blow-off peak for Bitcoin ranges from $150 to $175, which has the ability to reach $250,000. I also forecast that this top will occur. However, these targets are becoming closer and closer all the time. This is the cost that we will be required to pay in the year 2025. Men, pay attention to this. I don't know what else could possibly make you feel that way if you aren't already excited or bullish about something. That is exactly what we are prepared for. Due to the fact that we are aware that the current time is the beginning of the bull run, we have been purchasing Bitcoin and using dollar cost averaging. We were aware of the impending heaviest years in advance throughout the bull cycle, and we have been accumulating because historical data reveals what often occurs. Therefore, we were able to prepare for these years. I described what frequently occurs after the prices have soared, which is that they continue to rise. According to a number of different lines of reasoning, the bull run started when Bitcoin reached its all-time high. On the other hand, we were merely fortunate when institutional money from exchange-traded funds ETFs entered the markets and accelerated it past its greatest point. We do, however, have data that spans a decade to back up this assertion. A surge of that parabolic nature has never been observed before. Given the imminent parabolic boom, there is a possibility that Bitcoin may experience an increase. You will be able to determine when it is ready to move simply due to the fact that it is highly volatile. Both $74,000 and $888,000 will be the initial targets that will be sought for. In the event that we are successful in exceeding those targets, we will be trading within that range, and before you know it, we will be talking about a $100,000 price. It's Bitcoin. What am I doing that is making sense? At this point, it is simple. For the only reason that I believe there is a possibility that the price of Bitcoin will go down, I have made the decision to keep my money away from the market. If you want to attempt again, you should go back to the lower to mid-dollar range of $5 range, of 50040. Should that occur, the market as a whole will be negatively impacted. What you can see is that I shall be taking a leap of faith. The cryptocurrency that I will be heavily investing in and about which I have been quite outspoken is Quant, not Quan. I have been very loud about this coin. I ask that you pardon me. Every week I make a buy of Quan. On the other hand, I am standing at a distance and viewing it. At the moment, if we take a look at the O chart, we can see that it is trading somewhere around 1.5 cents. In the event that it falls back to 1 penny, it is a considerable amount, particularly when I take into consideration the fact that I intend to purchase a few million V out of those price tags themselves. My answer to your question is that I believe it could go up to 60 if my DCA, which is currently 1 penny, climbs to 60 cents. You might be wondering why I think it could go up to 60. The fact that this will be a 60-fold increase is clearly calculable. If you want to be extra careful, feel free to offer me a 60-fold or even a 30-fold multiplier. In usual, I simply aim for a 5 to 10-fold multiplier. It is highly recommended that you view the video from yesterday as well, in case you missed it. I am of the opinion that the countdown between Ripple and the SEC is close at its conclusion. Is the Securities and Exchange Commission going to let us down in less than 2 weeks? The litigation has been resolved, or are they appealing at the very last minute? When Student Alder made the statement, "It's done, tick-tock," that's all I have to say. Do you remember that moment? The case was the center of attention for everyone. In the event that there is no appeal, I anticipate a minor increase in the price of XRP as well as a breach of the resistance zone at 60 cents. I believe that if there is an appeal, the